Duistic Studio. Do more.
Hey everybody on YouTube, my name's Andrea and this is The Andrea Show. In this video, I'm going to explain what this book is all about and also make a response to a video that I saw in regards to Ben Shapiro, a outspoken conservative who has made a life choice to attack anyone who's trying to abate racism, trying to be a part of the solutions. And I really have a bone to pick with him, as well as anybody who gives this man a mic. First off, I would like to say that this book called White Fragility is the #1 bestseller of New York Times. And I would never doubt the critiques of people of our society. Clearly, the people have spoken. Why would Ben Shapiro say that this book is awful, truly awful? He also referred to it as a cult manual. That seems very extreme and erratic to me, to say that about a woman who has dedicated her life to abate racism. It says here, even on the book, a necessary book for all people invested in societal change. Clearly, anybody that is against this book is not looking for societal change. Robyn D'Angelo, an educator, made a whole book about people like Ben Shapiro, who has made a life choice to get in the way of our progression and regress our country. Just look at his track record. Red hat is the only thing I gotta say. If you want to talk about cult member, why do you need a hat to be a part of a party? So what did Ben say, right? What did he say? Oh, he said so much. One thing I want to say is this. He made 7 reasons why he thought that this book is, he called it sucky, is the suckiness of this book. 7 suckiness of this book. I'm going to give you 7 suckinesses of Ben Shapiro's stupid response and recommendation, I guess, as far as not to read this book. I'm going to give you guys right now 7 of the most suckiest things that Ben has said about this book. 1, he called Robyn D'Angelo crazy in his video, and I'll leave the link in the comment section. He called this woman crazy more than 30 times. You know, to gaslight America, to fit your narrative and to push your propaganda, Ben, is really, really aggressive, okay? You are the radical right that needs to be banned and completely banished from speaking on behalf of the American people. You should never call an educated, intellectual woman who has dedicated her life to being a part of the solution crazy. I am telling you guys, watch the video. He called her crazy multiple times. I lost count. Crazy, 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 crazy. That's what he kept calling her. So 1, you can't make your points by trying to deplete someone's credibility, man, because you are not credible, not even a smidge, pertaining to my second point, which is your intake on the Black experience. To minimize and to make light of racism.
I mean, she's fairly explicit about a lot of this stuff in the book. Fifth problem, she treats black people as absolute tokens. She does not treat them as fellow human beings who think and act like normal human beings. She treats them as sort of an exotic other who react in bizarre ways that only Robyn D'Angelo sees. It's very weird.
To you, Ben Shapiro. To you. Again, let me repeat. #1 best-selling book. That's what I thought. Carry on.
You get to the biggest problem of all is the unfalsifiability of it, the cultish nonsense of it. And this is, I mean, if she could have you at a resort in Latin America drinking Kool-Aid, she would. Robin D'Angelo. The unfalsifiability and the cultish insanity of this book are beyond the pale. And then...
Hey, Ben. Hey, it's me, Andrea. Listen to me. What? The cult like you and Candace Owens and Dennis Prager and all the other conservatives that are preaching hate speech towards black people, trying to bring up the missing father and all the black issues with no solutions. What, that cult? The cult that you're in? The radical right? Knowing the damages is done to the African-American people, the African-American family, which you love bringing up the missing father, but do not ever bring up the mere fact that most of them were put in jail. Most of them have been completely kept from access to proper education, proper institution systems that are meant to rehabilitate people instead of keeping people in these red lines that were created. Let's bring that up. Bring up redlining, bring up mass incarceration, not to make excuses, but just to make a point that the facts are facts. And you can't dumb down racism, my guy. You literally called her historical points historical nonsense and brought up the mere fact that she brought an example up of Jackie Robinson. She just brought an example of white fragility. It wasn't supposed to be taken as a entirety of racism. It was just to give people a insight of what racism is, because it's illegal. But it's one of the hardest things to prove in the court of law. Because how can you prove that someone's being racist when you can't see it? Because it's like, or being discriminative, or being how can you prove that somebody is being discriminating you? Well, you gotta prove it. How can you prove that you didn't get the job because of the color of your skin, when they don't tell you that that's the reason why that you didn't get the job? It's something that you feel. It's something that you know. Okay, when you're on the other end of it. If you are a person in America and you are living a white experience, you probably don't feel or see the things that black people feel, or other races that are minorities and marginalized in this country feel when it comes to getting a job, making sure our hair is right. Do you know that millions and millions and millions of dollars go into the hair industry from black women spending dollars trying to live up to the white standards? That's what this book is all about. I forgot what number I'm on, but I'll just leave the number here. I'm gonna make my points. Another thing is, for somebody could be so smart. I mean, you look like an accountant to me, Ben Shapiro. You look like you really know the numbers because you talk really fast, right? You seem like an analytical kind of guy. Why not bring up the mere fact that she breaks racism down as far as white people having the majority of almost every institutional system? For you to sit there and dumb down the mere fact that white people run pretty much every system in America? How did you miss that? How did you talk about the book and miss the fact that she brought up? For example, we look at racial breakdown of the people who control our institutions. We see telling numbers in 2016 to 2017. That's pretty recent. I mean, this isn't historical. This is today kind of type stuff. 10 richest Americans, 100% white. 7 of whom are amongst the 10 richest in the world. U.S. Congress, 90% white. U.S. governors, 96% white. Top military advertisers, 100% white. By the way, this is on page 31. U.S. House Freedom Caucus, 99% white. Current U.S. presidential cabinet, 91% white. People who decide which TV shows we see, 93% white. People who decide which news is covered, 85% white. People who decide which music is produced, 95% white. Teachers, 82% white. Full-time college professors, 84% white. Owners of men professional football teams, 97% white. What she brings up here is the mere fact that white people dominate almost every industry and institution, not only in a national standpoint, but globally. That the standards are always met by white people. And the mere fact is, other cultures, other races might not have the same standards as them. For instance, the black hair. We like to have box braids and we like to show our expression in our hair. But most women can't get jobs if they have an ethnic or urban look, which there's a law now to protect us. But mere fact is, you tried to dumb down racism and discrimination and prejudice in our country. You tried to dumb it down, man. To not even acknowledge our history with empathy is very reckless to me, okay? For you to sit there and bring up the historical events and not have even the slightest bit of understanding that there is damages because of these racist policies and these racist movements. Like, why don't you ever mention the Lily White movement that was done by the Republican Party? You know, how about the mere fact that the Dixiecrats were created that realigned with the Republican Party? Why not mention all of the facts? Because you clipped this book like you do history and everything else to fit your narrative. Most insulting thing that you said was that she makes it seem like black people are the token exotic others of the world. What are we, a freaking orangutans of the world? You really thought that she put us on a pedestal by simply bringing up the problems that white people have brought forth in the world, really? I mean, let's bring up the Trail of Tears. Let's bring up all the damages historically that white people have done over time. To not even have empathy, not to say that anyone today did it, but to not even have empathy to understand that it's done a lot of freaking damage by not acknowledging, and this is what she talks about, by not acknowledging the issues of our country. You are complicit of it. So with that said, I'm not surprised that Ben would have a comment on a book that is #1 best-selling book in New York City. Okay, I'm not surprised, because you like controversy. You like to meddle. You like to stir the pot in society. You get paid for that, challenging the minds of people that want to see societal change. Why can't we have peace, huh, Ben? Okay, to sit there and call us a token, yet you token Candace Owens, is a gag. To sit there and say that we are the token and have Candace Owens as yours. Now that's the joke. And the joke is on you. To think that you even have credibility pertaining to this book. And not even mention that she did not make this book to make white people feel bad, but just to explain what is in existence today and has been and will not end until we face it, which is racism. The power is in the white people because there's just more of them. So we need white people to fix it. We need white people to own it. We need white people to make a change. We need white people to stand by us, blacks and what Asians and all of our other brothers and sisters in this country, and say that was then, this is not now, and I'm going to make a societal vow that I'm going to be a good person here. This is what Robyn D'Angelo said. Everyone has prejudice and discriminates, but structures of oppression go well beyond individuals. Did she say everyone? While women could be, yes, she said everyone. While women could be prejudiced and discriminate against men in the individual interactions, women as a group could not deny men their civil rights. But men as a group could and did deny women their civil rights. Men could do so because they controlled all the institutions. With institutional power, you have more control. Therefore, the only way women could gain suffrage was for men to grant it to them. Women could not grant suffrage to themselves. Similarly, racism, like sexism and other forms of oppression, occurs when a racial group's prejudice is backed by legal authority and institutional control. The authority and control transforms the individual's prejudice into a far-reaching system that no longer depends on good intentions of individual actors. It becomes the default of society and reproduced automatically. Racism is a system. That said, I'm going to rate this book a 10. I think it is imperative that anybody in this country that is white, if they have the slightest bit of desire, hoishi in Japanese, to make a change, to be a part of the solution, please read this book, not to feel bad about what happened, but to feel good about what's to come. Man, that's all I got to say about that. And with that said, the only tool that wins is love. Point blank, period. If you're not spreading love, then Houston, we got a problem. We got a huge problem. Me and you, Ben, we got a problem. So if you can handle it, please like and subscribe and get ready for more, because I'm not going anywhere.
Thank you for watching. I would like to disclose that I am aware that Ben Shapiro's name is pronounced Ben Shapiro and not Ben Shapiro. However, I couldn't care less. Please believe me.